Welcome to The Power and the Pain, where your past isn't your prison.
It's the fuel for your purpose.
I'm Greg Pihs, combat veteran, NLP trainer, and your guide to turn trauma into triumph. This is The Power and the Pain. Let's go. Welcome back to The Power and the Pain. We brought Chelsea Baker back this week. Now listen, if you haven't, did I say?
It's Albert.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My friend is Chelsea Baker. Oh my gosh. I saw your out of the corner of my eye, I saw your body. I was like, did I just? Oh my gosh. Thank you. We got Chelsea Albert back. We do not have Chelsea Baker. So last week we had Chelsea on and we learned a decent amount about really like what formed Chelsea to be who she is up to today. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go back and listen to last week's episode. But this week, we're really diving into a little bit more of your passions and where you are today and what you're creating. Tell us a little bit about, so I know in last week we talked about hypnosis, and that's still a practice of yours. But you're also launching into something new, helping entrepreneurs. Tell us a little bit about what does it look like, or how did that even start?
Yeah, Greg. First of all, thank you so much for having me back. Last time was such a great conversation. I'm just super excited for today. So, so I launched an app called Tasklandia. And what it is it's a visibility game. I realized that it really honestly, when we were kind of talking about passions a little bit last time, and we were talking a little bit about mission, and this kind of came out of nowhere. Okay. I wish I could say that I had always wanted to build something like this, but my solution to technology is hit it to assert your dominance.
Okay.
And it hopefully starts working. So I have not exactly.
I love it.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's great.
But what I ended up doing is, after a very painful conversation with a marketing coach, I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do to get the word out there about my practice. It's, the work I do is powerful. I love what I do. I love everything about it. But I hate posting on social media. I hate talking about it. Not that I don't love sharing the experience, not that I don't love sharing what I do and talking to people and going out and networking. But posting content, making sure that I'm visible, all of the little consistencies that small business owners need to do in order to get the word out there, I hated doing. So I would go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock. I wouldn't post. I wouldn't reach out. I wouldn't even schedule an email to go out. But then I would stay up until 2 a.m. playing a Pokemon game on my phone so that I could collect cards and beat my boyfriend. And I realized that, okay, yes, I love helping people, but what really gives me my jollies and motivates me is petty game victories and lording them over the people I love. So I did up a chart. I gave myself points for all of the things that I personally dreaded. And I said, okay, I'm going to buy myself a new tattoo after X amount of points. And
good. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that meant something to me. It was something I knew I would work for.
Yes.
And I slapped it on my fridge, literally. I just slapped that chart on my fridge, and every day I would do 10 reach outs, or I would do a post, and I would give myself points. And I tracked it every single day, how many points I did. And the really, really interesting thing that I did not expect was, one, in about 6 weeks, my income went up by 20%. Just by doing
the things.
Just by doing the things. It should have been so simple, but I needed that little click to motivate me. And the other thing that I noticed, and this ties into our work pretty well, people started responding to me differently. When I always knew that about end of the month, middle of the month, things would start I need to start sort of nudging people along. I would reach out, say, hey, just letting you know, I've got an appointment if you want to snag it. And, I'd get some yeses and some nos. But when I was reaching out and just saying, hey, how are you? You crossed my mind today. Now, yes, I was trying to get my points, but also I killed my commission breath. I killed that desperation in my text, and people can feel it over text. I know they say that you can't discern over
And the
text.
words count.
Yeah, and the energy transfers. So I noticed that people started booking with me all of a sudden. Just because I was reaching out and saying, hey, you crossed my mind. Hope you're doing well. Oh, hey, gosh, I haven't reached out to you in a while. I've been meaning to reach out. Great, let's get you booked.
Let's go.
There was this simultaneous logic, like, yes, you're doing the things, it's going to work. And there was a magic about it, and there was an energy about it that shifted when I started playing a game instead of feeling pressured to do all this.
Now, I love this? Like some of the things that like landed for me that were huge, like I'm visualizing myself. It can be, I'm speaking from me for me. It can be hard to do things for self sometimes. If it's not for you, keep that, right? But it's like, I have to do those. Why am I doing those? I don't know if there's going to be a reward, and it's for me because I want to grow my mission, my impact. But when you attached it to, I have to do this so I can get these miss many numbers, and it guarantees something for me.
Yeah.
That was that was it. Go ahead, please.
I love the people that get up every day and they get up with their mission on fire. And yes, your mission is so important. You need to have that overarching, why am I even bothering to be in this industry? Why am I even bothering to do this? Why do I want to help people? What's the end goal? If I was to take over the world, what would be the thing that I would change? But sometimes I feel like, for me at least, and again, I really love your phrase. I'm gonna start borrowing it, to me, for me. Or is it from me? You say it and it's beautiful every time. But this really is personally for me. The mission gets too big sometimes.
Let's go.
The purpose gets too heavy. All of a sudden it becomes this burden. I have to help people today. Otherwise, my mission is not being completed. I have, if I don't complete my mission, if I don't, well, also, your mission can be reassigned throughout your life. Your mission can change throughout your life. You may start here. Quick background. I started my practice because I didn't want people to hurt in the way that I hurt. I didn't want people to feel the pain that I felt. And that kept me going through a certain phase of my business. And then I got a little older, a little wiser, a little bit more trained, a little bit more experienced. And then I realized that sometimes you need to sit in the pain as the pressure cooker that turns you into who you are. So then I didn't want to take away pain. Then I just wanted people to be free. Then I started looking around and seeing all of the little strings that get pulled by our emotions and by our wounds. Media, advertising, politics, your friend group, your not friend group, all of these little strings that people pull us by. And I thought, okay, well, if I could help people cut those strings, that's going to ripple out and we're going to create a more free world that acts from our own inner guidance rather than the outside world. That was great. And then I progressed a little more, and now I'm in this beautiful point where life doesn't have to be that heavy. Life doesn't have to be that heavy. Yes, have a mission. Yes, have a purpose. Yes, have something that lights a fire under you. But if we're not having fun while we're at it, what is the point of being alive? So that's kind of where I'm at now, is I just want to help people take the burden out of their calling, whether that's in my healing practice or whether that is in this goofy little game that I created. I would love for people to be able to do what they want to do and to do it easier without all this hanging over their head.
I love it. I love how these are the real conversations. I love how you positioned, like, hey, first and foremost, it's fucking heavy. Okay, like it is. And then, by the way, it doesn't have to be. Like, let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, business owners, we get so rigid sometimes. And okay, look, I don't like blaming the economy, but the very real fact is, for business owners, the economy is shifting. We are experiencing a shift, and we're going to experience ups, we're going to experience downs. So right now, I think my attention is being drawn less towards healing, which is something that you do kind of after the fact. Like, once you come back in and once you're in a good, stable place, then people start seeking healing. But what I'm feeling the call from my audience more for is, how do we survive?
Stabilize.
Yeah, how do we stabilize? And so
how do we get foundation?
Exactly. And I answered that call for myself, and now I want to help answer that call for the people around me, my heart really goes to the small business owners, the solopreneurs, the scrappy warriors that are, building something from love.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of really wonderful businesses out there that build because they saw a business that made sense and they create a business. There are true business people out there. But I really love working with the people who started something because they love it, who started something because they had a mission.
Mm-hmm.
The people like me in my community that wanted to help people and maybe didn't really. They started because they were really good at their craft. They were gifted, they were talented, they wanted to help. And the business end of things is kind of secondary.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is not to make people more productive. It's to help people trick themselves into doing the right things.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it, how people trick themselves into doing the right things. I love this. We are so capable, like when you're talking about it doesn't have to be heavy. And, even just going back in that, most entrepreneurs are, I'm accusing. Most entrepreneurs are, like you said, hey, it's heavy and it doesn't have to be. Most entrepreneurs know that it's heavy and they're pretending it's not, so they never get to the place where it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Oh man, you bring up such a good point.
Please,
It can be really lonely being a solopreneur. It can be really lonely being a small business owner because yes, there's a community around you. Yes, you're going out and talking to people every day. You've got your customers, but you always have to have this shiny face of I'm successful.
Yeah.
Yep,
right,
absolutely.
right,
Things are
right.
going great because there's this kind of unconscious knowledge that you don't go to a customer and say, "Hey, I'm really struggling. Would you mind buying some?" It's not a good sales tactic. So there's this interesting. It's like a community, but it's an isolated community,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't feel that vulnerability in a lot of cases, or if we do, we got to feel it in private. We got to lock our office. We got to have our moment and then go back out into the world. And what developed out of just this little game was I was playing this game for myself. It was working for me, but I needed people to play with. I needed people. I needed a community, and that started me on this journey of hosting networking events every Saturday or every other Saturday. They'll probably go up to every Saturday once we build up. But all of a sudden that I didn't consider myself a community builder. I did not want that responsibility. I was like, oh gosh, okay, you've got to be there all the time for everybody. That's a lot. But I've been talking to more and more people, and we need community. And this game is kind of starting to evolve into a community where we can be a little competitive with each other. We can cheer each other on. We can network with each other and connect in a way that's not so rigid and heavy.
Yeah. Well, you went from like, oh my gosh, leading a community, like that's gonna be so heavy, to like there was I'm making a projection here, right? So there was a point where it's like all the things that I'd have to do so that I could lead this community, whereas now it's like, oh, let me open the doors so I can have community. Like it is hard and it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been having the most fun with it. You've been to one of the events, and it's just been so cool to say, "Hey, you need to know my buddy over here. Hey, you need to meet Greg. Hey, Greg, you need to meet so and so." And that is it. Really, that's what community is all about. It doesn't. I know that there are some networking associations that are very rigid and very regimented.
Yeah.
I won't mention any names or acronyms.
Free litter. No.
But yeah, it's really, we didn't get into business because we wanted to do something that drained us. Most people got into business because they wanted to get out of that loop of doing something that they didn't like or weren't enthused about every single day. Most people started their business because they wanted to have that freedom and that joy and that fun and that purpose.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just lose it along the way.
Well, something you had talked about, like I'm pretty certain you used the word solopreneur earlier. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you talked about how like it's an isolated community, and for those listening, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a solopreneur, maybe an employee. Okay. Being a solopreneur is a very extremely unique space to carve out in the world, because I know a lot of friends that are business owners. But even from the launch when there was just one person in the business and it was them, like they can call themselves a solopreneur, but for example, if you were to people that sell a service or a product that is, say, a commodity, houses, insurance, mortgages, things of that nature. Solopreneurs, like the people you're working with, like me, like you, the product or service that we're going to deliver has to be built.
Mm-hmm.
Most entrepreneurs don't realize, if they're not a solopreneur, they're selling a product or service that was already built and calling it a business.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful thing.
Oh, man.
But it's just like, man, like realizing like as a solopreneur, it's a whole nother world. Like the product doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
When you are your service, it really is isolating. You know, as a realtor, for example, you're still working with a mortgage lender. You're still working with, you know, the builders, the insurance companies. You're still, and I know a lot of really great a lot of really great realtors who will find people to partner with, and it's almost like a business co-op in that space.
In a
You know, everyone's
way.
got their it's a really great system. I wish I could replicate that in the healer world because
You
it
literally
would.
are.
I hope
You
so.
literally are.
I truly hope so.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what made me even bring that up is the realization that like how lonely the solopreneur world is, and you're replicating that right now with the community
Thank
and
you.
connecting 100%. I mean, connecting me. It was just a couple days ago.
Myco.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for not even making me ask.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm so glad I'm going to anchor that because I already asked her once, and I have a meeting with her on Wednesday, and I was like, how was that again? But incredible lady, and I've connected with give me just a second. Gauda's last name, Goude.
Yeah, Gabrielle.
Gabrielle.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's so
yeah,
sweet.
incredible.
Love her.
But you're creating those pathways inside of this world. Yeah.
I've always been, energetically speaking, I've always been kind of a balancer. So if there's somebody who is the life of the party, they can go be the life of the party. I'm going to just sit and watch and enjoy. But I've always had this irresistible urge to see the wallflowers in life and drag them onto the dance floor. Whether they like it or not, and hopefully, you know, hopefully they enjoy themselves after. But I always want to bring people into the party. You won't see me in any networking event staying with any particular group or person too long. My attention is constantly bouncing towards, hey, that person looks like they're looking for someone to talk to. Hey, you come over here. Hey, you need to, and it's not even so much about networking for me. I don't go to networking events to make sales. I go to networking events to make friends. Yeah. And I've known a lot of really good people who have left their corporate jobs and they went out on their own. And they went back to the employee world, not because they didn't love what they do, but because they were so lonely. And it was so heavy trying to build something up from scratch. And again, you know, it's not that it's not hard work. I think that's kind of a through line that I have. Yes, it's going to be hard work. Healing is hard work. Change is hard work. Transformation is hard work. Building a business, it's going to be hard work. But if I can, and this is me, I always like to go around the side door of things. I have never been. I had an argument with with the owner of my gym the other day, and he said, Chelsea, sometimes you have to realize that there's not a side door to everything. Sometimes you just have to pick the thing up and put it down. And we were lifting barbells like single-handedly, and it just kept tipping on me. I was like, you know what? And I got a different weight, and he said, Chelsea, you have to like face it. And yes, absolutely, there are some things you have to face head on, but. He said, okay, well, what if a zombie was chasing you and you had a pail of water? Well, you take a couple of sips of water and you run like heck. And he says, okay, well, what if you had like 2 2x4s that you had to carry? Well, you find a way to build a strap. That's always been my way of thinking is yes, I do need to get this task done, but how do I make it easier? How do I make it more efficient so I can use more of my energy building the house with those 2x4s? Yeah.
I love it.
So I think that's, you know, there's a lot of people that might not agree with that particular way. There's a lot of people who really emphasize the grind and that just push through.
Oh yeah.
And I do want people to get through.
Right.
But if you can get through with double the energy so that you can focus on getting through the next thing, why not?
I'm a big, I actually saw someone made a post today, and they were saying, like, when someone tells you, like, the hard truth, like, that's rare and that's a friend. And I thought, and, their message was beautiful, so we just leave that as it is. But what came in my mind was, like, someone telling us the hard thing is no longer rare.
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
telling us
Wow.
the hard thing kindly is now rare. The
Ooh.
hard thing needs to be said. Let's fucking say it,
Yes.
and let's be kind. Go ahead, please.
Oh my God. No, yes. Snaps, applause, everything. You're right. We're in a world now where, yes, thanks to social media and the fact that you can't see and register the reaction right away. We've gotten really good, and so one of the things that I really am obsessed with is gamification, and that's the whole soul of Tasklandia is gamifying all the things you need to do. But gamification really is a way to access our motivational behaviors.
100%.
So what we've done, and I'm about to get, as we might say, heavy on this, but it is a fact. Parts of gamification, or things that are Chelsea, words. I can do this.
Right.
You ever just
Oh
have
my
that moment
gosh.
where the hamster stops
Like,
spinning on the wheel?
Once a week when I'm leading my mastermind, I'm like, why can't I say this word?
We'll edit it. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
He's in the back going, no, we're not.
Right, we're not
editing
editing
this.
this. They think we are, we're not.
So with gamification, a couple of our really big motivational thingies, our levers, are creativity and feedback. We love, as humans, to be able to say, I made this, I did this, I came up with this, what do you think? And we love it when we get the positive feedback. One of the downsides to that is social media has effectively used that to encourage people to come up with wittier and more creative insults. It's become a burn contest, and it honestly goes back to the days of the old school bully, and everybody's circling around going, ooh,
Yeah, right,
we do love that.
Burn.
Yeah, we do love a good burn, but it's gamification of being a jerk. It really is, and we've gamified it and we reward it, and there's that instant. It's almost Pavlovian. So now what we're getting is people who are telling the truth in the most, and I say truth sometimes, but we're getting people that are telling truth in harsher ways, and people who are competing to come up with the most creative and witty and ooh, sick burn kind of way. What if we could flip that around and come up with the most creative way to tell the truth in a kind way?
Let's go.
Can you? I would love to see a world where somebody just lands something that's like, you see the person receive the truth, you see them go, ooh, and there's a hug afterwards.
Let's go.
And you just see people cheering on like, ooh, that was a really good way to say that, man.
Let's go. That's loving on someone.
Yeah.
That's loving on someone.
Yeah, and there's a creativity with that too. You have to be creative to tone down that little voice that says, you need to break up with them, idiot. You need to break up with them, idiot. You need to break up with them, idiot. And say, hey, how can I creatively say this so that my friend knows I care about them?
Yeah. Sharing that message. I say, like, people that say, well, I'm just being honest. I'm like, well, you're just being a dick, because you can be honest and nice.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. And I think that, that always speaks to something within them where there's so much pent-up frustration that they just need to let it out in a little porcupine quill. That, yeah.
I'm a big believer in, like we will have the conversation, like, I almost, like, to the point where it's like, does he understand social cues? But one-on-one.
Yeah.
One-on-one. And, like, I will say all of the things absurdly kindly, absurdly gentle, because inside of me it's like, I can't not, like, these things have to be shared with, we have to open up this floor, but it's not to be said in the circle for the sick burn.
Right. And I think the biggest trick that I've learned for that is I had to learn to ask people, do you want my feedback, or do you just need me to hear you right now? I can do both, but I need to know what you're actually looking for, because there'd be times where I'd give advice, I'd give truth, and they weren't even asking for it. And it just, there was a block there. I felt like they weren't taking my advice. They felt like I was trying to butt in. I'll always ask permission, and sometimes when it comes down to the really hard truths, I had to do this with a client last night that I was on a call with, and she was saying some things that were really, really coming up with a pattern. And it was like I could see the pattern playing out, and I just had to ask her, okay, on a scale of spoon to surgeon's scalpel, how blunt do you want me to be with this? And she said, well, I mean, give me the truth. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go with butter knife. And I'm going to be blunt, but there's going to be, I'm going to try to soften this out. But you're repeating that pattern of codependency. This whole self-sacrificial thing, this is an old pattern. This isn't what your family wants for you. And she went, okay, yep, I earned that. I heard it. And she knew it herself. But
that actually changed I got this from someone, but I can't remember who. I think it may have been a book, but feedback or venting or advice.
yeah.
So it started inside of my relationship with my wife. So like my wife would do it sometimes, but I think I was better at it than her. She would just be venting sometimes, and I wanted to solve the problem, but there was no problem to be solved. So it was like several years back, like I heard this, and I'm like, and so I like sat down and talked to my wife. I'm like, hey, like if we're venting, let's just say we're venting. And then we even have rules for venting. Like you can let it rip, but like once you're done, then it's done. Close that book. We don't come back to it.
Oh, nice.
And it's been beautiful. And so I've implemented it with my clients. Like my clients know that they can just text but we can hop on the phone. And if they tell me I'm just venting, like when they send it, I will almost fire them. I'm like, oh yeah, what else? Oh yeah, what? And every phone call will get to a place where like, you know what, Greg, I'm good. I'm just gonna go say sorry, do this thing. I'm all good. Perfect. And I don't tell them anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we kind of got off topic there a little bit, but
I think it's perfect. It's where
yeah,
we're supposed to be.
I love these rabbit holes and tangents. So yeah, what I'd really love to see is just more connection like that, more honest, and especially again among business owners, among solopreneurs. There's, like I said, we're in a wacky kind of time right now where before the show you were mentioning that 2020 we kind of people went spending crazy. We had this, we were paying off debt, and we were doing that. It was just a weird wacky time, and those years following were kind of a weird wacky time that we all as business people kind of got used to. People were kind of throwing money around, and now it's not even so much that there's super, super hard times, but people are watching their money.
Yeah.
And people are paying a lot more attention to what they want to spend their money on. So if you make it a game as a business owner, if you make it a game to connect with your audience, if you make it a game for yourself, that makes you so much more attractive to your audience. If you have two car salesmen, you know that the car salesman pushing you to get that car because they need it. And I feel for this person because they need to feed their family. They need to feed themselves. Like, believe me, I get the pressure. And sales is something that, that's a world that's a high pressure world.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have somebody who just loves to connect with people and is just connecting with them, and hey, if the car comes out of it, great. They're going to get so many more sales because the people aren't feeling like, oh, this guy's trying to force me. What is it? The critical faculty isn't getting fired in their brains. Like, oh, wait, why are you talking to me? Why are you? When you just do something for the love of it, or if you're just doing something for the game of it.
Yes.
It switches everything up. And if I could help small business owners in this time change up their energy, if that's my contribution, then fantastic. And again, I just selfishly, Greg, I just want more people to play my game with me.
Let's go.
Really,
Let's
I'm
go.
a competitive person.
Well, in the last episode, again, go back and listen if you guys haven't listened. We talked about like that mentor that I had, like what's in it for me. Like you found what's in it for you.
Yeah.
Like at the deep, like here's what my selfish grab is on this, and that's beautiful. Have you heard of the name Kenny Brooks?
I've heard the name. I don't know where to place it.
Okay, look him up. Hit door-to-door sales, funny guy. Like,
oh my
okay,
God!
okay.
Oh, I love him.
When you were talking, go ahead.
Yeah,
dive in.
Everything that Greg said, go check that guy out. He is hysterical.
And it's what you're saying. That's why he came to mind. He does. He lives what you're saying, and he slays it.
Oh my God! Yeah, and then he's gotten other career opportunities from that.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, right?
just
Like,
training
he's
now.
blown up.
Yeah. He doesn't really sell anymore. I mean, I guess he's always selling, but
Yeah, right. There's that old adage, but yeah, that's oh my gosh, he is such a fantastic example.
hilarious.
He was just having fun. He was
Hilarious.
just having fun, and man, he killed it.
And they're like the cheesiest one-liners, and he'll just go one after the next, after the next, after the next, until people are like, literally, like back in when I first started following was like 2012, and he was literally door to door, and he was going viral not because he was shooting videos, but the people buying from him were shooting the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, he is a brilliant study in having fun and the magic that comes from it.
Let's talk about this. So, solopreneur, here's something that I kind of seen, and I want to hear your lens or perspective on it. So, as a solopreneur, like when we talked about in like real estate and such, like we have our lender, we have our title company, we have our inspector, we have our surveyor, and so on and so forth, right? Well, those solopreneurs that are like bootstrap starting something from passion, you also have to have all those pieces, but it's you. You just put on a different hat and ta-da, I'm the surveyor today. But here's something that I like talk to us about, like if I'm by myself, which hat do I wear right now? But
Yeah.
but look, something that I saw into is like when I look at your game, I just have to get these points. So logically, I have to put this hat on to get these points. But I don't have to be, I'm no longer responsible for figuring out which hat. I'm just going through the process of getting my points.
Yeah, it's I built this game for people who are like me. I am I'm a little bit out here most of the time. I'm very fluffy. You can kind of hear it in the way I talk. It's about how you feel and this and the soul of the thing. I am not the numbers person. I will never be the numbers person. But when I just look at, okay, here's what I have to do. Oh, okay, you know what? Here, I need to do some reach outs. Okay, cool. I'm reach out Chelsea. I'm salesperson Chelsea today.
Bingo.
And then I can jump back to, okay, well, I do need to, oh, okay, I just updated my website. Boom, I am efficient Chelsea today. And
Graphic designer Chelsea today.
Exactly. And I think it kind of, I wanted to take away the pressure of having to, okay, and here's the thing. I am all for this system. If systems work for you, please, please, please use them because I can see the brilliance in them. The time blocking, yes, absolutely. Structure, time blocking. I have this day for this day. My business simply doesn't work like that. I've got people calling and they need an emergency session, or I've got to be a little bit kind of flexible in my schedule. And for my own brain, which I love a good ADHD brain, but we do kind of I need to bounce around and bring it back. So,
this gives you that place to bring it back. Like,
this
is the hat I need.
It gives me an anchor. It gives me an anchor to come back to of like, okay, I need to do this. And I can scroll through the tasks and I can look and say, hey, I do have a feature on there where you set your top 3 must-dos for the day.
That's good.
If you get your top 3 things done, that's really all you need.
It will change the game. This is powerful. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, and that I actually learned from when my boyfriend was going through a really hard time. He was having some trouble with his dog and his Rottweiler, who's just a big sweet idiot, just a big goofball. I love him. He's actually, so Diesel is one of the inspirations for the characters in the game because he, you know how certain pets, you just kind of have a voice in your head. He always sounds like Marty McFly in my head. Like he's just the happiest little. He's that cheerleader character that's just always happy, always encouraging. But he was having some trouble and he was so overwhelmed. I was like, okay, look, you're going to get a Post-it note. And this is something that I didn't know for myself. So this just kind of came up. I was like, all right, you're going to get a Post-it note. You're going to write down the 3 things that you have to do today. 1, call this. 2, call this. 3, get this paperwork. And he says, okay. And he did those 3 things. I was like, okay, you did those 3 things? Good. Now, do you need to do another 3 things? Fine. But the top 3 things, after that, I realized I was like, ooh, okay, hold on. That's something I need to do because I get so overwhelmed. And again, it's the hat switching. It's, okay, well, you've got 3 things to do as a salesperson, but you got 3 things to do as a practitioner. You got 3 things to do here. Every morning, if you just set your top 3 must-dos, you're ahead of the game. And then you can focus on everything else. But if you get your top 3 must-dos, your anxiety's going to go down, your overwhelm's going to go down, and you're going to find that you have a lot more free time than you think.
Literally. This is powerful. There's a the one thing, Gary Keller. It's a book. But it kind of going in that realm, and there's always he even goes as far as say like the one
Yeah.
thing. But essentially, like at any given time in this book, he says at any given time, and like when I first read this book, it was a little over 10, 12 years ago. I was like, I got halfway through, and like I literally was like, this guy's so full of shit. And it was like 2 or 3 years later, I went through the whole book, and I was like, oh my gosh, why did I make myself wait 2 or 3 years? But essentially said at any given time, there is one thing that is the most important thing, and by getting that thing done, it will actually cross off other things on your list, but we will go and try to do the other things, and day after day keep moving the one thing.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. And yeah, honestly, once you do that one thing, you're right, it does. It ends up crossing a couple of other things off the list. Usually, so okay, example, you need to call the insurance person for whatever reason. Okay. I've called the insurance person. Now I don't have 15 other things weighing on my mind. Okay, what's that going to cost? How's this? Okay, well, how am I going to manage if this happens? You've done it.
Yeah.
And it's super powerful. All of these things in this game, I have kind of snuck in my hypnotherapy training and my hypnosis training and all the unconscious mind stuff. That is, and I've noticed that there's nothing like that for business owners. That was the thing that made me realize it had to be an app rather than just a game on my fridge. Was because there's a lot of great productivity apps out there. There's a lot of great, self-care
Get
apps.
up at 5 a.m., say your affirmations.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like a little happy bird or a raccoon that you feed.
Either that or the Goggin style.
Yeah.
Get up a half hour earlier.
Oh God, I love him. I love those people. It will never work for me, and that's entirely fine. And that's who I built this game for, is the people who
Let's go.
need that
Let's go.
pickup. But it's just never going to be you're never going to be a Goggins. You're never going to be an Alex Hormozy. Those are very, very special kinds of people. It is a
I guess special. We're all special.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me. But, there are also people who are just not motivated. And also, I don't really buy into the whole woo-woo thing either of, oh, just sit on your cushion and meditate and the people will come. No, you actually have to be doing the action. Yeah. I never fit into either of those camps, and so I built this for me, who kind of sits in the middle. I need to get stuff done. I love getting stuff done. I love getting the right stuff done. I spent too much time on productivity for productivity's sake. If anybody has ever had that experience where you spend 15 hours on Canva trying to find the perfect layout and the perfect thing and the perfect format, you just need to post the video.
Right.
You just need to post the video.
Right.
And you'll get better and better at it as you do it more, but you can't get better if you're not doing it.
Right.
And when you do it more and more naturally, you're just going to get better. You're going to find a little tweak here, a little tweak here. You don't have to spend 10 hours trying to find the perfect format right off the bat.
Let's go.
And I think that's kind of the big message of Tasklandia, is you don't have to do it perfectly. Just do it.
Let's go. Something that like there, we've all probably heard the saying, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people. You can't say the right thing to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
Like just send it right now exactly the way it looks. And if you have any inclination of concern of people commenting on how messy it is or things of that nature, would you do me a favor and allow them to expose themselves to you?
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Thank you.
It's oh man, okay. I've started having fun with these people. I really have, and this is my
Your
mischievous
side.
I am.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Back to our conversation of how creatively can you be kind. I've started taking that to heart. I didn't realize I was doing it, but I've had. People are always going to have something to say. Again, we've gamified having the sick burn, so people are going to go for it. But I've started trying to come up with ways that I could be creative, darn near naively kind to these people. I had somebody, it was such a meaningless comment, but it's just a example. Somebody commented on one of my videos, I bet her hair's gray underneath all that dye. Now, what this person didn't know is that's not an insult to me.
Right.
I can't wait to go gray. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go like old wise lady. There's going to be so many cool colors you can put on top of silver. I have tried going gray. So I just responded, Thank you. Please keep speaking that for me. I can't wait to go gray. And I didn't hear from him again. He didn't comment after that. I think people are looking for the fight, and if you can bring joy and if you can bring kindness into it, and here's the thing, I'm also learning to say things in a way of don't mess with me. I will actually respond to haters, and I'll respond with kindness. I'll respond with joy. I'll respond with love, but I will respond. And I think there is this kind of to address the whole social media fear of, well, what if people see it? What if they don't like it? What if they try to, troll me? What if they try to cancel me? I think there's a scene from, who was it? There's an old movie. I can't remember. I think it's a movie about politics. I think it had Chris Rock in it. But he's bringing up this point. Head of state. This is an old poll. But he's describing this whole political battle that he's in right now. And, so-and-so is dragging him through the mud. And he said, you know what? If you've ever watched the Looney Tunes, what would irritate Daffy Duck the most is when Bugs Bunny would kiss him. And that's what you can do with trolls. That's what you can do with people who are out to say something just because they feel they need to get a burn in. I don't fear them anymore. But it had to take me doing the thing for a long time to get to that point where I'm comfortable joking around with people who comment on my
being grounded
videos.
in like knowing where you're going, which just comes from taking the next step. It made me think of this is many years ago, but back when I had a job.
We're going back in the files today, guys. This is like memory lane.
I had a manager say to me one time, like I was out there hustling around, and there was a lady manager, and she said, "I'm watching you," and I said, "Oh, good. Obscurity is my biggest issue."
There we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's. I honestly, I can't say anything better than to just joke around with your haters.
Yeah.
Joke around and kiss them. Just give them, big sloppy wet cartoon kiss, and it usually shuts people up. I used to have a really great phrase that I kept on standby until people stopped messing with me. Was it's why you love me. Anytime, like, Chelsea, you're so awkward. Yeah, it's why you love me. You are so weird, Chelsea. I got a lot of that, and I still do have that little bit of a weird kid complex. But when I started saying, yeah, it's why you love me. You do love me because I'm weird. Either it's going to make people realize, yeah, I do kind of love her because she's my little weirdo. Or they're going to think about what they said and realize, okay, that wasn't... I think they were kind of expecting a different reaction, and it halts them in their tracks.
Yeah.
But I do, for anyone who is in their head about putting themselves out there, you just got to do it. There will be. I don't even want to say there may be. There will be people who just want to rain on your parade, cover your sun. And are you going to let that stop you?
Mm-hmm. I shared the other day, actually just this Wednesday just passed, I shared with my mastermind like I asked them, I said, hey, 3 questions and around like allowing yourself to get out there. Do you believe what you're saying is the first question, right? And just check inside that that's not to answer for anyone else. And if you're like, well, I don't know, pause, go do some more research, find your passion, get in tune, like don't worry about it, like find a thing to set you on fire. But if you're like, even if I'm wrong, like this is what I believe in my soul, if that answer is yes, the next question is, are you willing to admit you don't know every single thing about that topic? And if that answer is yes, then are you willing to share what you do know up to now about that topic?
Yeah. I love it. And that brings us all the way back to purpose. I think that's what really grounds people in and gives them that. Your purpose is going to give you the confidence to do the things that you wouldn't normally do.
Well, and also like again, speaking on solopreneurs and thinking back in my journey, in the beginning, like the solopreneurs, most of us, like we want freedom, but we have this thing that we are like inappropriately passionate about. Okay. And it evolves.
Inappropriately passionate. I think that's the best way I've ever heard it put. That is true.
And it evolves. But in the beginning, we just have this thing and we're like, oh my gosh, and we're just so passionate about it. And again, the hats, we have to go through all the hats. And like this puts us into a state of confusion when our body is in this neurological state. No, we don't feel confident. Okay, I say this as in Tasklandia is giving you, it's like the way I'm picturing this right now. Like I walked in a room and everything I had to do was spread out on the floor, and there was no instructions, no starting point, and they were like, hey, get all this done. What is this? And then I imagine like Tasklandia is like I come in and you've put like shelves around the room, and you're literally like, hey, do this first, do this second, do this, and I just go through and I might not even know what I'm doing, but I just go around, and when I get out, I'm like, fuck me, I got my shit done.
Yeah. And and the goal is to be a little bit flexible with it too. Okay, you can pick which shelf you want to do. You can set your favorite tasks and you can just go right there and create your own shelf. And it's
Even better, the shelves are built. They come in and you're like, hey, we got to put everything to do one at a time, but you pick the order.
yeah. And I really wanted to create a game where it was focused on the things that actually move the needle. Yes, there's a couple little productivity things, and they're really pretty light and flowy. Like, okay, 30 minutes of work. You choose your top 3 must-dos every day. But really, at the end of the day, if you don't have customers, you don't really have a business. So all of this was geared towards, I think a lot of us get distracted with the other shelves of, okay, well, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And we forget to call people. I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. We forget to tell anybody we exist. And that's where I wanted to really bring the focus. And this is actually, yeah, I'm gonna say this on here and put this out there. So what I'd really love for this to become as this is growing, I still want to keep this very much heart-centered for business owners and solopreneurs, but I really want to expand this to white label it for coaches and therapists. I really want other people to be able to jump on board with gamification to help their programs become more effective. I was talking to one of my clients who was struggling with anxiety, and he gave me the idea, and I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah, take that, pocket it.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could gamify going out and talking to people? If you are really, really scared of going out and making new friends, or if you're scared about going to interviews, gamify applying to jobs, gamify whatever you need. I would love to help therapists. I'd love to help coaches. I'd love to help healers give their clients some support that will actually help them put into action all of the good things they're getting in session.
Yeah, that's huge. It makes me think when you were talking about like that, whenever I train coaches like NLP, timeline therapy, archetype intelligence, I've realized over the years, and there's this big emphasis, or in my audience, there's this big emphasis on the technique, because we want to like do this magic trick, and we like tap 3 times and did over here, and they forgot the bad memory, so we're like, what's the technique? But like what I've shared with my coaches is like when I'm training them is that like I know like we want to do the technique, and the technique looks cool, but said by like what I'm going to share with people in the most vulnerable way, like the technique works because all the dominoes were set up in the background.
Mm.
And so the technique is just a little cherry of like, ta-da! But like all the things were set up in the background. And like the biggest thing that I harp on, like that I share like to the people the coaches that I'm working with, certifying them, is like your magic happens in your weekly assignments.
Yeah.
This hit home because now what assignments?
Here, download this app, and I've got all my tasks for you, and that's I think where I'm really starting to get to. Yeah, I'm really It started as just kind of a little seed of like, ooh, you know what you could do, and it's really starting to get pretty strong. It's starting to get some momentum in my brain, and I would love to. Again, I found a really cool shortcut. And I want to tell everybody about it. I want to build that road, and I want to help people build the shortcut for themselves, not because there's no dignity in hard work and overcoming. And again, there's going to be plenty of times in our life where we're just going to have to look at the thing and we're just going to have to barrel through it. We're just going to have to crash through that wall. I think overcoming fear is a wall that you just have to crash through. At some point, no amount of gamification, at some point, no amount of healing is, you can lessen it. You can make that wall smaller. You can make that wall a few layers of brick less. But at some point, you're just going to have to crash through. And if playing a game helps you crash through it, you're still crashing through it.
Yeah.
You're still breaking through that wall, but now you're not suffering because of it. And that's work is always going to be there. Suffering is optional.
Yeah. Well, and hard, and we all know it, but let's talk about it because we used the word, we brought up the label hard so many times. Hard, like things will be hard, the process hard, yes, and hard is only evidence of I am exercising past my current capability. That's all. So like it'll be hard, but not because we're being oppressed, but because we are growing, because we
Right.
chose to go outside of the last thing that we conquered.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the word conquer really it can be a conquering or it can be a trauma. There are a lot of people that you can look at that, and you talk to that say, well, I had so many challenging things in my life and, it's been traumatic. Yes, there are points that have really stuck with us that have really shaken our confidence. But also, how much have you conquered in your life? How much have you overcome? When you look back at all of those things that were painful, that were hard, that were difficult, are you also looking at the fact that you're still alive? Are you also looking at the fact that that you've grown from it?
Right.
You can choose to look at the wall or you can choose to look at the fact that you're on the other side of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think, and everyone's allowed to be on like our journey. We have a journey, all of us, and we get to heal. We're allowed to heal. I love you wherever you're at.
Yeah.
And the realization that like if someone were to say, oh, my trauma, I have trauma. Let's just use that. I have trauma. Well, where? Okay, okay. In the past, right? When it happened, I can align with you that was traumatic, whatever it was, before I even hear it, because it was traumatic to you. But right now, the only way for you to have trauma is for you to continue to hold it as trauma. I have gifts.
Yeah. I have gifts. I have lessons. I have new strategies. And again, we've come to a place where we're focused so much on validating and making things easier, but we're not making things more effective. I think that's kind
Just
of
coddling.
right. I think that's kind of where my industry, my healer industry, sort of falls. This is where and I gotta tell you, I'm in this weird. It is a very interesting thing to go from solopreneur, healer, kooky, woo, to I have a product that I need to now show to the world. I mean, learning the tech aside, there were so many nights and so many curse words.
Yeah.
And I learned through that. It's been really amazing. And now for some of the people in my circle, I'm the tech person, which is something I never thought I'd be. But I'm finding myself in this interesting space of this kind of softer healing sort of thing where it's like, okay, look, let's help move you through this. Let's help heal the trauma. And then there's this other part of me that's the game that's like, okay, yeah, no, we're not going to focus on the behind the scenes stuff right now. We're going to trick your mind into getting over that wall. So when you might be climbing that wall going, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then you're on the other side of the wall and somebody just points and goes,
hey, high five, friend.
yeah.
Just did it.
Yeah. Do you see that thing that you just did? So there's two halves of my soul that one just loves poking fun at things and loves kind of, it's, you remember the movie Shrek where he's going across the bridge and he's kind of like jouncing him and he's kind of like, and all of a sudden Donkey realizes he's on the other side of the bridge.
Oh, yes. I know.
That'll do, Donkey.
That'll do, Donkey. Yeah.
There's part of me that's like that, and there's the other part of me that's like, okay, come on, let's get over this bridge together. And there's a time and a place for both, but 100%. I'm really, really excited to be stepping into this new season of life where I get to exercise my more mischievous side. I get to exercise my community builder side. 'Cause I think we need it. I think we need it more than ever these days. It's not a game where you're designed to stay in the game. I think that was kind of one of the things that I've wrestled with when I first started laying it out, and I'm still in the MVP stage, so it's going to grow even bigger. I don't know where it's going to go, in all honesty. That's going to be a lot based on user feedback, but I don't want people to stay on the game 24/7. It's not one of those games. It's a game that's meant to encourage you going out, and a game that's meant to encourage you to go out and meet people, go out and talk to people, go out and tell people about what you offer to the world. So it's yeah, I'm kind of trying to navigate what that looks like in a game where most games are designed to keep you playing the game. This is designed to keep you playing, but keep you out in the world
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
playing it.
That's good. That's good. I was thinking, let's see. It actually has escaped my mind, so we'll let it come back if and when it's supposed to.
Yep.
What else we got left to talk about? I have a blank spot in my mind. No worries. We'll just sit with it for a minute.
So I actually had to tell you something. I was going to tell you earlier, but I'll just tell you on the podcast. I had a really, I know, why not? But to your archetypes, I had a really interesting realization the other day with I'm currently in my warrior archetype season, and I noticed that I am increasing my capacity to receive. It's been part of one of the things that you told me about the warrior is this is I come first, I need to put on my own oxygen mask before I can even help others kind of season. And I've been really, really graciously gifted with, things from coffee to lunch to, some other things that I was like blown away by. And I realized in that moment that, yes, receiving has always been a challenge. But when I was able to link it to the warrior and to be able to say like, ooh, okay, hold on. This is me learning to put my oxygen mask first. This is me learning to be okay with people giving me things and not necessarily having to repay it back instantly. And to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it as inspiration to maybe pay it forward to someone else, to put it back into the world. And I just felt myself like literally growing in that moment. And it was just such a cool shift. So I guess I'm actually really curious because I'm learning what motivates people through this game. I'm learning that there are some people who are game players. There are some people who love to be on the leaderboard. There are some people who just want the reward and they'll work towards their reward. They don't care about others. They just want, their own competitiveness. I'm learning a lot about what motivates people through the archetypes lens that you've been building. Where do you find that most business owners sit in their archetype? Do you find that there's a pattern, or is it really pretty all over the board even?
Great question. I want to say warrior. Based on the context of the question, where do you find most business owners? So if we said that, like I'm thinking like just business owners, no more filter below that, business owner, warrior, heavy warrior. Successful business owners, and it's some like very successful, they definitely get into the achiever, or like they are operating hard in the achiever. But the warrior is definitely the initiation point because I'm going to build this business and it's mine.
That makes so much sense. I kind of had a suspicion and I was curious, but I just wanted to hear your answer.
Yeah. That's usually the initiation point. And on the flip side of that, I tend to work with, because man, I spent an extra long time in this chapter making sure I like reread everything, in which I was afraid to launch my business for like over a decade. So like an inappropriate, like way too long. So I love working with those people, and like those are people that are usually like they are so attracted by the warrior, but in some way like afraid to actually access it because they've probably seen it in an unhealthy manner.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I've got that kind of pull towards the ruler right now, and I can see where systems make sense. I can see but I'm not quite there yet to commit myself to a system. There's still something, if you described it when we had lunch that one day, kind of like, the Mongolian barbarian, kind of like, riding my horse through the plains and going from village to village rather than creating a what's the word I'm looking for? Ruler, kingdom, that big thing.
That thing that they do.
That thing. And it's a really, like I said, I'm in a really interesting, gooey, fluffy, in the middle of the air kind of time where I'm feeling all of these different pulls and all of these different steps. And I think that's another thing that I've created this thing for is for people who are in that flux where maybe, I'm sorry, maybe you're not ready for a system yet. I am not ready for a system yet. I have tried systems and my brain has shut off for all of them. And that's okay to be in that space. This is for that space of, okay, I'm going to take each day as it comes. Yes, there's going to be a system eventually. Yes, I'm going to learn the ropes. But for right now, I just need to get, I need to remind myself to talk about my business. I need to go out there. I need to do the things that scare me. Most people, it doesn't scare them to do a half hour of work. What scares them is to look somebody in the eye and say, hey, I do this.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And maybe I can't fully describe it yet, but just trust me. Look at my work.
Let's go.
Look at my testimonials. You're going to regret it if you don't work with me.
Let's go.
And it's a scary thing. And I think that's something that I think really speaks to the warrior is this kind of this, it's a simultaneous freedom, but it is very much, okay, hey, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. This game is for people who would be considered not beginners, because there really is no beginners. Some people just like are business owners right off the bat, and some people have been business owners for 20 years and they're still getting the hang of it.
That's right.
But it's for the people who don't identify themselves as business owners. They don't identify themselves as the ruler. They don't have that kingdom and that system built up yet. They are still very much in warrior.
I love it. The people that have the burn and passion and the idea of having to follow all these systems or things is overwhelming. First of all, you don't even have to have systems. And there can be a chapter when they can benefit us, right? I think back for myself, systems ruler. There was a time where like have to and must was like weird in my life to the point like people would look and like, man, you're like the most disciplined person. But it wasn't like I would always tell people like, oh, I don't see it as discipline. Like I thought I had to like as in like a like an addiction or something.
It was
like
a compulsion, not a
compulsion. Eating food, like if I thought like in my mind, like if I eat that slice of pizza, like it's a fucking ruined it all. Like I'll be fat in the morning, and not just like body dysmorphia. It could have been if I don't make this call, if I don't get up at 5 a.m., I'll just be lazy the rest of my life. If I don't get up at 5 a.m., it doesn't matter how tired I am. So I lived this way. Well, ultimately, this put me in an extreme box because all of my time was occupied with what I have to.
Yeah.
So no growth has taken place because I have to. I'm busy.
Right.
I say this to say, like, eventually I do, some breakthroughs and stuff. And right now, where we're at right now, I'm just going back into systems for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of my life. I allowed myself to be in free flow, and it was so empowering, so freeing. And for the first few years, like, not having systems allowed me to expand incredibly.
I think so. And I really keep going back to this, this visual of being that, that tribe or that band of warriors that's riding across the plains. There's an incredible freedom to it. When you are when everybody, it's really, really trendy to market a system right now. Every guru you see, it doesn't matter what kind of anything you are, you're going to see someone on Facebook with a system for it. Yeah. But there's a really great amount of freedom of saying, okay, F it, I'm doing this today. Okay, you know what? I'm doing this today. Okay, today's going to be my focus. Okay, I'm going to call as many people as I can. Or you know what? I am going to stack as many half hours of non-interrupted work as I can. It really speaks to me that what you said about that have to box. It really, and I think a lot of people do get really, really boxed in, and it's a heartbreaking place once you look back from the other side and you go, oh, there's a lot of, and I went through the same thing. For a long time, I was motivated by this little chariot driver behind me with a whip, just like, go on, go faster, go more, go harder, go harder. And now I'm starting to realize I want to be pulled towards something. I want to see something on the horizon and say, ooh, let's go over here and steer my chariot towards that. I don't need somebody behind me cracking a whip. Yeah. And that is the most powerful thing you can do, is to be motivated by that pull instead of that push. And again, absolutely, The push will get you. I think a lot of us start from push.
Mhm,
A lot
mhm.
of us start from this little thing, this little voice in our head that says you're not good enough. You're not going to do it. You have to do this, or everything's going to fall apart. It gets us going. It's a
Right,
natural part of
right, right, right.
it's kind of a natural part of human evolution. And if you didn't start there, I want to know your secret. But hopefully, there's going to come a point where,
Hook up to the pole.
yeah,
Or that push will burn out. It'll burn out every time. It'll burn out every time. And then what happens, like, it'll burn out when we get far enough away from it to not feel the pain. So for example, like the way I tell people is like if someone says, "Oh, I need to make $10,000." Why? Because I don't want to be broke. Well, that's a thermometer, or that's a thermostat instead of a thermometer.
mm-hmm.
So at $10,000, the thermostat cuts off because that you told your neurology unconsciously, $10,000 is so I'm not broke. I have $10,000. That must mean I'm not broke. I now lose my motivation until I can feel the pain close enough to me of being broke. But if I start with because I don't want to be broke and I start making money and then I say, you know what, I want to help other people.
Then all
The
of a sudden
shift,
you've got more to go by,
yeah,
and there's oh, hang tight. Just like what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
I
That's
had it and I lost it.
here we're talking about it'll come right back.
The push and the pull.
So if they're making 10,000 and the idea is like they're using this to I don't want to be broke, and
Right.
then and then if they stay there, got it, please.
Got it. I think that's what a lot of people get stuck with and hung up on with this idea of passion. So many people look for passion because they're looking to hook up to that pull. But I think what a lot of people may not it actually no, I'm not even going to say a lot of people, that might be a projection. For me, myself, and if you're like me out there, sometimes it's not always this big fiery passion. Sometimes I don't wake up in the morning going, I can't wait to hear some trauma. I might have said that in the last episode, and if I did, you're gonna hear it again. Because I say it quite a lot to people all the time. I work with a lot of healers, and they're starting to burn out right now because the world is changing, things have shifted, appreciation of the woo-woo has kind of gone down, appreciation of healing has gone down in favor of survival, and furthermore, there's a lot of false gurus being exposed right now. We're seeing a system,
Yeah, we're
we're
gonna see a
seeing systems
haircut next
crumble
couple years. Yeah.
left and right. So I'm seeing a lot of really, really gifted healers and really, really gifted people that do a lot of good in the world losing their passion because originally their passion was, I want to change the world. Well, the world isn't changing as quickly as we'd like it to. It is changing, and it's changing quickly, but it's not looking like it's getting better all of a sudden. And what I've found is this might help. If you feel yourself losing your passion, the things that have lasted me the longest and that have brought me the most success in my life and the most fulfillment haven't been fueled by passion. It hasn't been fueled by this even great pull forward of I need to help people. It's been curiosity. I started beauty school thinking, okay, well, this is going to get me out of waiting tables. And hey, great, I'll be curious. And I had my very first facial with this beautiful, mature woman. And we spent 2 hours talking. I mean, I went way over time on that one. But I walked out of that session. I went, oh my gosh, this is what I could do. Okay, yes, I love it. But I started beauty school with curiosity. I didn't go in thinking, okay, I want to make people beautiful. I didn't go in with any of it. I just said, I wonder what would happen. I didn't start hypnotherapy. I didn't start healing until I had a hypnotherapy session for myself, and I went, I wonder if I could do this. And even Tasklandia was started by what would happen if I learned to build an app.
When you were saying that, like and the people you were talking about calling in, because some people, I'll just say it, like you might be 20 years in business, but you might have done year one 20 times. Look, okay. I did year one a couple times. I don't know. I stopped counting. Okay. When we're trying to figure out what is that passion, like I'm a big believer on, and I see this in Tasklandia. I'm a big, massive, like a lot. I say ready, fire, aim. Like if we are early in our mission, as in what is early, figuring out what that thing is, go wide before you go deep. Throw everything at the wall.
Yeah.
See what sticks. Eventually, it only makes sense to start narrowing down. But if we try to figure out how we're going to narrow down, It's like I've never been on a date before, and then it's like, well, what do you like on dates? I have no clue yet. I need a couple of
Exactly.
dates or whatever the thing is.
Right. And I feel like Gen Z, especially in these younger generations, they have been so made to fear mistakes. And they've been so conditioned of, their anxieties and all of this. And they've been so trained that making a mistake is a bad thing and that making the wrong choice. I mean, heck, there's even this happens in every generation. I work with a lot of people who are afraid to make a mistake, afraid to make the wrong choice. How do I make the right choice? But if you're going to sit and wait for this magical passion to just fall onto you and you wake up one day, it's not going to happen. You have to start. I think you have to start with curiosity.
I love that.
I think you do. And even so, to this day, I don't feel what would be considered a great burning passion. It's just this ongoing curiosity of, well, how could I tweak this? Okay, well, what would happen if I did this? But that has led me so much further than something. Again, like I said, there are people out there, I'm sure of it, who get really overwhelmed by the idea of passion.
Yeah.
And, maybe it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. Maybe you can just go from curiosity, because your curiosity is an indication of your passion. It's an indication of your wiring.
100%. I love this. One of my favorite quotes, again, sorry, whoever originally said it, I don't remember your name to quote you. During times of change, which will be always, the learners will inherit the earth.
Ooh.
And the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that no longer exists.
Oh.
If change is always, then I must continue to be curious.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Okay, whoever did say this, I am now stealing it from Greg.
From Greg, from you.
Yes.
It still lives. Whoever the original person is going to live on.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so good. I think gosh. Wow, mic drop. I can't think
You're
of
like,
it.
I don't even know where to go.
No,
Yeah,
where'd
that's
you
good,
go
that's
from there?
good.
That's perfect. If you stop learning, you're dying. If you stop being curious, what's there to live for?
Be curious about everything. Question everything to include. Listen, I use the word suspect sometimes. Curious is so much better. Be curious of your own thoughts and feelings. You didn't actually choose them. Like they popped up and then you were experiencing them. But how did you experience them? They came. Be curious. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this? Chelsea, where can those that are listening in that are like, I want to be in her mix, I want to be in her orbit, I want to hear what she's doing. What platforms are you on that people can connect?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as Tasklandia, Tasklandia, kind of like Portlandia, but with tasks. I wanted something quirky, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what's quirkier than that?"
You want it quirky? No.
Yeah. Surprising, right? I know I come off as very stoic,
very professional
but
stuff. Yeah.
oh man, yeah, corporate doesn't
Or
want to be hearing
corporate,
from
that's
me.
the word, yeah.
Or you can go to Chelsea Albert Healing. You can Google me or find me on Instagram, find me on YouTube under Chelsea Albert Healing. And yeah, go look up Tasklandia on both Google Play and Apple App Store. I always get that one wrong, and I'm an iPhone person. But
You're
yeah,
not an iPhone person?
I am an iPhone.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
No. I'm fully in the cult. I'm fully in the cult. I know
okay.
it's a cult.
Along with
and,
the cult.
the Kool-Aid ain't bad once you get used to it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Apple, and then you're on Android as well?
Yep,
That's
Apple
awesome.
and Android. And honestly, like I said, I would love to see any of your audience. I already know that your audience is my people. So come check out Networking with the Cool Kids. It's really, really easy, really free-flowing, and it's about connecting to the people that you need to meet. And it's from a bunch of different circles. So it's always a great time. So you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that.
What's the best platform for those listening that want to join? So there is a Networking for the Cool Kids.
Yes.
It is awesome. Every other Saturday, and it really is a Chelsea's said. I'm saying she's created a connectors hub, in which she puts people in the room and makes sure that they get connected. I say makes sure. She just does it in this most gentle way that you don't even know what happened, and you left and you were happy and you met friends. if you're looking to connect with new people, what's the best platform for them to be following to see that link?
Ooh, okay. So to automatically get that link, and this was going to be just for the people who download the app, but for a limited time while I'm building the community, this is for you and your audience. You can go to the Tasklandia coffee shop in school.
Okay.
And we've got school group. The link is always there. That's going to be the easiest way to get the most connected to those meetings. You can just click the Zoom link. It's super easy. And that's where I'm connecting all of these business owners. And that's where I'm connecting also Tasklandia players. So you can jump on Tasklandia and you can share your wins, share your streaks, share your goals and your rewards. And just get connected to the community. So.
Let's go. Stay curious and get connected. Chelsea, it was great having you on. It always is. I'm sure we'll have you back in the future. It's just a really good flow. And, obviously we very, very similar nature, passion. So I really appreciate my audience getting to hear everything from you today.
Craig, this is always such a joy. It's always so fun talking to you. And I feel like the little tangents we go off are what people need to hear for some reason. This podcast really, and I love it, and the episodes that I've listened to, there's always something that I needed to hear in each one of them. So thank you. Thank you for setting this up.
You're welcome. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
If this hit you deep, trust that.
Your pain has power, and your story isn't over.
Follow, share, and send this to someone who you think might benefit.
I'm Greg, and this was The Power in the Pain. Keep stepping into your power.